Hi everyone, thanks for joining. Welcome to another client interview. Today we have with us Steffi, who had an absolutely amazing journey with us, and we want to share her journey with you to hopefully inspire. So if you're watching this live, please hashtag live. If you're catching the replay, hashtag replay. Steffi, we'll pass it over to you. If you could just tell everyone a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what brought you to us in the first place, that would be great.
Yeah. So, I'm Steph. I'm originally from Australia. I've moved to the UK about 2.5 years ago. Prior to my move, I did have a big weight loss drop. I lost about 25 kilos and I had a personal trainer back home. However, the move to the UK caused some disruption to my habits and to my everyday because I came over without a job or accommodation, just Airbnb and a ticket. So it was a whole new adventure, and unfortunately during the first 2 years of moving here, I did put that weight back on because I just didn't have the support that I had back home. I didn't have the same structure. The food is it is different over here than it is back home. Even if I think I'm eating the same thing, the taste is quite something to get used to. And yeah, I mean, my move to the UK in general has been has been a whole new experience. I mean, I came over and I was still eating meat and dairy and everything. And then probably about a little over a year ago, I decided to go vegan. Thank you, Netflix, for all the documentaries. And then from there, I just started following lots of vegan fitness on Instagram, and you guys popped up, and I just completely resonated with your values and your approach and all of that. And when the opportunity came to work with you guys, I definitely put my hand up for the journey.
Amazing, Steffi. And so 25 kilos is a lot of weight to lose and then regain again. That's like 55, 60 pounds for our clients watching over in the States and people watching over in the States. So what was your mindset like? Because you'd worked with a personal trainer, you obviously had this great success and lost all this weight, but then to put that weight back on again, how were you feeling mentally at that point?
I mean, I'm generally quite a positive person and very optimistic, but I'm not going to lie, there was always kind of like that inner voice in my head that was quite disappointed that I went through that journey. I was finally at a weight where I was happy, and I really felt like I had hit all my goals. And then, to put all the weight back on, it was very easy to just blame myself and to put myself down. But with the support of friends and family, it's nice to have the reminders that there was a big change in my life. And it's okay to go through this, and I can always start the process again, change my habits and try and change them for life, and focus more on making sure I introduce habits that are sustainable rather than just lose the weight for a short period of time and had the mentality that I'm just going to do this for a year and then I can go back.
And I think, you really made the point, Steffi, about, making it finally sustainable and make it a lifestyle. Because you said you know how to do it, but before you had a mentality, I dedicate this year for this, and I reach that ending point and that's it. How we work, and I think what you achieved was that there is no ending point. We want that to be a lifestyle, ongoing lifestyle. So do you feel that now you're in the place where your results, your habits are more sustainable compared to before?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, obviously having you guys in my corner, it always motivated me to go that little bit further. I think it's been about 2-3 months since we've, said our initial goodbyes after the program. It was definitely a little bit more difficult to get like, my inner motivation going. I had sort of switched more to maintenance because when we finished the program, the initial 3 months, that was when I started working again as well. So, finding that balance between work and, exercise and all that, it's been a challenge. And, the food side of it did always come quite easy to me. you know, it's very easy to make sure that I've just got my shopping list. That's what I buy, you know, create my meal plans and all that. But finding the motivation to exercise and the extra time in the day to dedicate myself to actually getting moving has proven a little bit more difficult to balance with work. But, you know, the last month or so, I've switched gears again, and am focusing more on weight loss again. But I feel like I've been quite successful in just maintaining my weight over the last couple of months as well.
Yeah,
Amazing.
It's amazing what you said again, Steffi, that you switching to this, you know, to maintenance, you're switching to weight loss. It means you know how to do it.
You're in control.
It means you're in control, and it means you have all this knowledge and education on how to do it. And I think it's the most empowering feeling, because like, you know what's happening with your body, and it's actually your choice what's happening with your body. Isn't it awesome?
No, it is great. It's been quite inspiring to know that I actually can do that. That even, you know, once I lose weight, I can find the balance to just maintain it and not put it back on again.
Exactly.
I mean, it's that in itself, I feel like, even though I haven't lost any more weight in the last couple of months, it's felt really good to just actually maintain the weight and actually, you know, focus on another aspect of my life for the time being.
And it's been your choice not to lose weight.
Exactly.
You know how to. You decided not to maintain for a bit with everything else going on. So it was your choice. So that's very, it's an empowering feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really want to talk about veganism, because, like, of course, we know so much about you. I just want you to share with audience that, you know, like you said, you've been vegan a year. If I wouldn't know that, I would think you're vegan for 25 years, you know.
Some of the meals you were preparing.
The meals you're making, the choices you're making, that you became so intuitive with body, the food, I mean, and it was so beautiful to see that transition from having a bit of a negative relationship with food to absolutely changing that. And now you're thriving on this vegan journey, and you even thinking about, you know, growing your stuff and have all these huge ambitions and visions. So yeah, if you can talk how veganism kind of came to your life and how you are really using that to thrive.
Yeah. I'm very much an all or nothing person with certain aspects of my life. So when I decided to go vegan, it was very much cold turkey. I just one day flipped the switch and that's it. I cut everything out. And, you know, it wasn't a smooth sailing. The first couple of months was obviously a little bit more, I did have quite a bit more sort of junk food in my diet, you know, getting used to the fact that, you know, not having meat or dairy, like, you know, the processed substitutes and everything did help me to sort of do the cold turkey style of switching my diet. But again, I just continued to educate myself along the way. Like I said, I turned to veganism because I saw quite a few documentaries on Netflix. My initial reason why was actually because I was scared that we were going to run out of drinkable water. That freaked me out more than anything. Because, you know, food we can adjust, but water is something that our body needs. And knowing that these industries and even just producing the food is taking up so much of our water, it's just, that thought terrified me. And that helped me to go vegan. And, you know, over the first few months, I just kept educating myself, books, you know, internet, documentaries. And as time progressed, I did slowly start cutting out the processed food, started to reduce the sugar. And as I did that, I did notice that my palate changed quite a bit as well. Like, you know, I didn't crave the sugar anymore. I didn't want the fatty food. Like, I thoroughly enjoyed eating, which I don't think has actually ever happened before, like, you know, making this change. Like, I actually felt my body enjoying and taking nutrients that it needed. And, you know, I always felt $1 million after I actually ate food, which, you know, never happened before.
It was really apparent as well, Steffi, that you just started enjoying your food and nourishing your body with love, and not just, you know, seeing food as numbers or a way to lose weight. It was just about, you know, being healthy, enjoying your food and thriving. And you just started letting the weight loss happen as a natural byproduct. Because I remember at the start of the program, you were losing a ton of weight and, you know, you were really happy. And that was one of the main reasons you came to us. You wanted to get that weight back down. But your mindset started shifting, and you actually said at one point, guys, let's, you know, I'm happy to slow down a bit. You know, I'm not too bothered about the weight anymore. You start going more intuitive and, you know, not tracking calories and just, you know, getting too busy thriving and feeling awesome and less fixated on that scale weight. So it was really nice to see that mindset shift and that detachment from scales and body weight.
Yeah, the first time I lost all that weight, I was really focused on calories, and to the point that I was eating the same meals every day for that full 8-month period. I mean, I feel like every couple of months, you know, I would swap one small thing, like from chicken to fish or something like that. But in general, I was eating the same thing. And because my mentality was, okay, it's just fuel. Food is just fuel. Don't need to like it. Don't need to think about it. This is this is all I have to do to lose the weight. And, you know, it did work, but it just, you know, wasn't sustainable in the end, when all of a sudden I was like a fish out of water when I moved countries, didn't have anyone there telling me what to do.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted to touch on, Steffi, actually. Like, having done both the personal training and online coaching, because loads of people are familiar more with personal training. They know what it's about. You go to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, you have an hour session with a PT, but online coaching is still quite new to a lot of people, and there's clear and profound differences between the two. So how was your experience with the physical personal training compared to the online coaching program you did with us?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like my personal training experience is probably not as typical as everyone else. I mean, I had a personal trainer, which, yes, we had 2 sessions a week. However, you know, I would go to the gym every day. I would see him every day. You know, he'd still make the effort to have a chat to me, and it did become like a little family every single time I went to the gyms. Nice. And, you know, had the text message, the follow-ups with food and all that. So
it's not
I feel like yeah, I feel like my experience isn't quite as typical as, you know, what some personal trainers are. It was definitely a very inclusive approach. But I feel like I got that same value out of you guys. Like, when I first moved here, I think the first 2 months I did pick a personal trainer, and for me it just wasn't value for money, because it was nothing like what I had back home, and that's what I was craving. I was craving that support and that kind of family atmosphere, and I did feel like I got that same feeling with you guys. You know, it wasn't just the sessions and then that's it. It's like, you know, I didn't feel like I was just a client out of a list of clients. Like, you know, it did feel very involved, and, you know, I would definitely recommend anyone to try it, because, you know, that's something that I feel like you just don't get well, at least it's not what I got when I did try it here in the UK with a personal trainer.
Yeah. It's common, Steffi. Thanks for that. It's really helpful, and it's nothing bad against personal trainers. Personal training can be great. We were years as personal trainers. Lots of our friends and old colleagues are still PTs. So personal training is great. And like with anything, you know, you can't really compare, because you had a completely different experience in Australia than you did in the UK, and you can get very hands-on personal trainers. But generally, PTing is just, or, you know, predominantly focused on the workouts and a bit of nutrition, and doesn't really tackle all the other areas of wellness that we were able to go in with you, such as, you know, the mindset, the self-sabotage, self-limiting beliefs, relationship with food, yoga, meditation, things like that. So nothing bad at all against personal training. But yeah, there is clear fundamental differences between that and the coaching.
I liked what you said, that's the feeling of family, and that's exactly what we're trying to create. We truly care, you know, like, we believe that we can't coach if we don't know you on a personal level, you know. So you have to become a family so we can help you as much as we can, you know. So it's very important for us. So I'm very happy that you touched on that. One last, maybe last few questions, but I want to touch on body image. I remember we talked about that quite a bit during your program. I think you had a bit of negative body image. And I remember towards the end of the program, I think you left a message saying, I just passed the mirror, I looked, and I was happy what I saw. And that just really touched me a lot. So if you can just elaborate on that a little bit.
Yeah, that was very surprising for myself, actually. I mean, you know, my whole life, you know, everyone's kind of focused on body image, and, you know, there's always something that people want to change. And then again, it just comes back to the negative thought process. And I'm definitely no exception. You know, there was always something that I wanted to change, even, you know, after my first initial loss and I was at my ideal weight. There were still things about myself that I saw, and I'm just like, I still want to change it. I still need to do something else. But yeah, there was a point sort of towards the end of the program that there wasn't any negative thoughts. Yes, I know I still have weight to lose. Yes, I know my journey wasn't over, but I wasn't thinking negatively about myself, and I wasn't taking it out on myself. I knew I wasn't at the end, but I was enjoying the process, and I was actually quite grateful and happy with what my body's actually managed to achieve, you know, and getting the education on what our body actually does for us and how smart it actually is. And, you know, actually appreciating that, I think just it completely gave me a different mindset.
That's so beautiful, Steffi. That's the most important win ever.
That's like if anyone plays poker, that's the royal flush of like wins. That's you know, exactly. Losing weight might be like a pair or something, but that just trumps everything, because you can't beat that mindset shift and loving yourself and loving how you are and what you see. That's it. That's what it's all about.
And when we operate from that place of self-love, we can achieve anything and everything. The resistance happens when we come from a place of punishment, of hatred, of negative self-talk. So yeah, coming from a place of love, it's always going to lead us to some beautiful places.
Still hasn't changed.
Amazing.
Love it. Well done.
So Steffi, I know you just mentioned a bit before that you would recommend, you know, working with us or in general with coaches to get to the place people want to. But yes, what would you say to someone who is, you know, contemplating to reach out and get help and get support, but, you know, maybe thinking, oh, I can do it myself. I can Google it. I can YouTube this. I can, you know, download that. What would you suggest to those people who are thinking about help, but maybe still a bit, I don't know, a bit resistant
on
to
the
that?
fence?
On the fence, yeah.
Well, you know, of course, you know, you can Google and find this information out, but the benefit of having someone that has already found the information, cherry picked all the good stuff, and is, you know, it's easily for it to be communicated to everyone. That's, you know, what you're getting out of it. And, you know, I definitely see it as an investment in myself, and I find it was generally just time saving, knowing that I don't have to do all this research to find the information out myself, and, you know, knowing that I have people in my corner, you know, rooting for me, and, you know, motivating me to always push myself, and, you know, just generally being there in case I have any questions, you know, because this is something that, you know, it's a lifestyle change. You know, you're not going to be able to do everything overnight, and just having someone there to actually help educate you, be there for any stupid question you might have, I think it's invaluable. And the program is so much more than just weight loss. You know, just being educated and learning about, you know, mindset, body, and how it all links together, I think is something that, I mean, I haven't gotten that from any personal trainer or any gym, and just getting all of that in one package, I think it's hard to beat.
Thanks so much, Steffi. And just very quickly, it's so interesting what you said about time saving, because we speak with so many women on a daily and weekly basis, and time does come up a lot as a self-limiting belief or an obstacle, and you feel like you had even more time than before because it was all structured for you. It's efficient, you know, rather than trying to do things sporadically. You've got that structure. So anyone that thinks they don't have time, we have time for what we make time for, and you'll feel like you have even more time than before because you'll be productive and too busy feeling awesome and things like that. So.
But Steffi, thank you so much for being here and sharing your story. And yes, we'll see you in the community.
Thanks, Steffi. Thanks,
no
everyone,
problem.
for watching.
My pleasure.
Bye-bye.
Bye.